Discuss those questions. Okay. The first question: a photometal is illuminated by lights of wavelengths lambda 1, lambda 2, respectively. The maximum kinetic energy of electrons emitted in the two cases are E1 and E2. The work function of the metal is. Now, four options are given. You have to choose which one is the right answer. See, our general equation was what? That total energy is equal to work function plus kinetic energy, right? This was our total. Now this is the energy supplied by the light. This is the work function of the metal. When you provide more energy, so particles will be released from the charged conductor. Okay, so you can write this is the total energy. Now this total energy can be written as hc by lambda is equal to work function. Let us say that work function is W, and the kinetic energy of the electrons emitted in the two cases are E1 and E2. Okay, so this is the kinetic energy. So here it is E1. So this is our equation 1, right? If you supply energy which is absolutely equal to the work function, the particles won't be released. But when you keep on increasing the energy which is in your hands, the particles will be released from the metal and they will gain kinetic energy. So this is the concept. In the second case, what is happening? The energy is E2. Okay. Now correspondingly, they have given you the wavelengths also. So the wavelength, when it was lambda 1, the energy was, kinetic energy was E1. When it is lambda 2, the energy is E2. This is our equation 2. So what did he ask? The work function of the metal. So he is asking you to find the work function. Now if you see in the options, you are not finding any Hc. So what you are supposed to do? You have to eliminate Hc. Alright. So we can do it in many ways. You can take difference of equation 1 and 2. When you take the difference of 1 and 2, what you will get? You will get E1 minus E2 on the right hand side is equal to Hc by lambda 1, Hc by lambda 2. Okay. So because we are trying to eliminate Hc, you take Hc common. It becomes 1 by lambda 1 by 1 by lambda 2. Okay. So this becomes Hc multiplied by lambda 2 minus lambda 1. Let me adjust. This becomes lambda 2 minus lambda 1 divided by lambda 1 lambda 2. This is equal to E1 minus E2. So we have to always remember what we are trying to find out. We are finding out W value. Okay. So Hc value you can obtain from this, from here. Hc will be equal to, I am writing here, Hc will be equal to E1 minus E2 multiplied by lambda 1 lambda 2 divided by lambda 2 minus lambda 1. Okay, this is what we have got. So this is not the answer. We have to find the W value. So you can put this value of Hc in either 1 or 2. Let us take 1. So Hc value we will put in the left hand side. So you see here Hc divided by lambda 1. So you take lambda 1 this side, you get the value of Hc divided by lambda 1. What is that value? This value is E1 minus E2 multiplied by lambda 2 divided by lambda 2 minus lambda 1. This is the left hand side part, is equal to W plus E1. W plus E1. Okay. So because we have to find out W value, you bring E1 to this side. So W is equal to, just expand it, E1 lambda 2 minus E2 lambda 2 divided by lambda 2 minus lambda 1 minus E1. Or now we have to simplify this. E1 lambda 2 minus E2 lambda 2 minus multiply E1 lambda 2. There is a minus. So E1 lambda 2 minus minus becomes plus. So there will be a plus here. There will be a plus there. E1 into lambda 1. E1 into lambda 1 divided by lambda 2 minus lambda 1. Any common terms? E1 lambda 2, E1 lambda 2, you can cancel out. Now look at the options. E1 lambda 1 minus E2. In the denominator there is lambda 2 minus lambda 1. There are two options. Okay. In the numerator you have E1 lambda 1 minus E2 lambda 2. So there is a plus here, there is a minus here. Option D is the right answer. Now let us discuss the second question. Light of wavelength lambda strikes a photosensitive material surface and electrons are ejected with kinetic energy E. If the kinetic energy is to be increased to 2E, okay, initially the energy was E, now it has to be increased to 2E, the wavelength must be changed to lambda dash. Now which condition is correct? See, it is like this. You have a conducting surface. You have electrons on top of the surface, and and you are supplying energy in the form of light. So when this energy, let us say some E, matches with the phi of the what you call this work function of the conducting material, if you give more energy, these electrons will be ejected. Okay, so our equation was the total energy E is equal to work function plus kinetic energy. Alright, now this E is the energy given by the incident light. It will have some wavelength, some frequency. So we are saying hc upon lambda. Okay, this energy can be given as E is equal to h nu, but mu is equal to c upon lambda. This is the equation. Okay, now this energy is supplied in terms of photons, packets of energy. Okay, hc upon lambda is equal to work function, let us say some phi, plus kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy was E. So these electrons which are ejected, they are moving with half, they are having this much energy, half mv square. Now that energy we are calling as E, kinetic energy. Now you see this energy, if you write, this kinetic energy is hc by lambda minus phi. Alright, so this is the equation. Now look at this equation. Suppose this phi was not there. If I make this energy double, for the time being, assume phi is not there. Okay, phi is not there. Let us say the equation was something like this, hc by lambda. Okay, this phi is not there. If I have double the energy, what will happen to lambda? Lambda must be half. Make it half, energy will be double. But here there is a phi. Mathematically think. So what will happen? If the energy has to be doubled, your lambda value, first of all tell me it should increase or decrease. The lambda value has to decrease. The decreased lambda value is lambda dash. Okay, and the original lambda value was lambda. Original wavelength was lambda. Look at option 4. Lambda dash is greater than lambda. Eliminate it. Okay, lambda dash is equal to 2 lambda. Okay, lambda dash value should be more or less? It should be less. It should be less. But here it is something else. It is showing as more. 2 lambda is more than lambda, no? Option 2 and option 4 ruled out. Option 1 or option 3 only can be correct. Lambda dash is equal to lambda 2 when this term is not there. But here this term is there. So that means it cannot be exactly equal to lambda by 2. It has to be little more than that. See, hc by lambda dash minus phi you have to do. And this lambda dash for this case, what will be the equation? So 2e in the new case, hc by lambda dash minus phi we have to write. Okay. We have to select lambda dash in such a way that we are getting 2e value. If I put exactly lambda by 2, will I get 2e? I will not get 2e. I have to put lambda dash little more than lambda by 2. So lambda dash value should be more than lambda by 2, but lambda dash should be less than lambda. Somewhere in between. Let us say this is 50%, this is 100%, 60%, 70%, depending upon the phi value. So this option is also ruled out. This option is correct. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. This is also a similar question only. Same question asked in different ways. The kinetic energy of electrons is E when the incident wavelength is lambda. To increase the kinetic energy of the electron to 2e, the incident wavelength must be. Okay. So same again we will write the total energy hc upon lambda. Let us say this was the material and there is an incident light of lambda wavelength of the photons of the hc upon lambda is equal to phi plus e. Phi is the work function. Okay. Now you have to make this energy to 2e. Will the work function change? Work function won't change, but you have to change the frequency of the light. You have to change the wavelength of the light. So let us say it is lambda dash, new light. This is old light. Now you are getting a new light. This is a new light of lambda dash. So this will accelerate the electrons even more. So the work function of the metal won't change. It will remain phi, but energy now become 2e. Okay. So from here you have to find out the value of lambda dash. So obviously in the options there is no phi, there is no work function. So you have to eliminate the work function. The easiest way to do is, let us say this is our equation 2 and this is our equation 1. Do equation 2 minus equation 1. Then you can eliminate phi. So you can write it like this: hc upon lambda dash minus hc upon lambda is equal to phi and phi gone. You are left with only e. So what are you trying to find out? You are trying to find out the new lambda value. Okay, because it's asking you the value of lambda. So retain this and take this term other side. So hc by lambda dash is equal to hc by lambda plus e. So hc by lambda dash is equal to, simplify this, hc plus e lambda divided by lambda, right? What are we trying to find out? We are trying to find out lambda dash. So cross multiply and take division. So lambda dash will be equal to hc multiplied by lambda divided by this term. When you multiply this thing in here, you will get this term. Okay, hc plus e lambda you will get, isn't it? When you cross multiply, because you want to find out the lambda dash value, this term will go in the denominator. So which option is like that? Option C is like that. Okay, option 3 is the right answer. Same concept asked in a different way. Let's move to the next one. When a surface 1 centimeter thick is illuminated with light of wavelength lambda, the stopping potential is V0. But the same surface is illuminated by a light of wavelength 3 lambda, the stopping potential is V0 by 6. The threshold wavelength for the metallic surface is, so there is some surface like this which is 1 centimeter thick and you are passing a light onto it. Okay, when a particular light is there, its stopping potential is given. When another light is there, the stopping potential is becoming V0 by 6. So you have to find out this metallic surface will have some work function. That, see, when you write this equation, total energy is equal to work function plus kinetic energy. This is what you are writing. Every term is basically energy only here. Okay, everything can be written in the format of hc upon lambda only. When you write work function, you put lambda 0. Work function, how you define work function, is equal to h mu naught. Okay, This mu naught you are calling it as threshold frequency. Now this frequency must be corresponding to some particular wavelength. That you are calling it as threshold wavelength. So you have to basically find out the value of lambda 0. Okay. So here the governing equation is EV0 is equal to Hc upon lambda minus Hc upon lambda dash. Okay. So this is the energy, total energy. This is the work function. So we have discussed this point that stopping potential is what? Stopping potential can be equated to the maximum kinetic energy. So maximum kinetic energy is equal to total energy minus work function. So this is the governing equation. Okay, we have discussed this point. EV0 is equal to KE max. EV0 is equal to KE max. But what is KE max? KE max is total energy minus work function. Work function is written in this format. So this is the equation. This is the generic equation. So here he has given some condition. So when the wavelength is lambda, the stopping potential was V0. So this is our equation 1. So this is becoming EV0 by 6. This V0 is becoming V0 by 6 when lambda is becoming 3 lambda. Using these two equations, you have to solve for the value of which one? You have to solve for the value of lambda 0. Okay, this is what we have to do. These are the two equations. So we can do one thing. We can take 1 minus 2. Okay, 1 minus 2 if you do, I'm just writing over there. I am doing equation 1 minus equation 2. Hc upon lambda dash will be eliminated. Here you are getting EV0 minus EV0 by 6. So you will get 5 times EV0 by 6. 1 minus 1 by 6, which is 5 by 6, is equal to, if you take Hc common, Hc by lambda common, what are you getting? Here you will get 1, here you will get 1 by 3. 1 minus 1 by 3, you will get 2 by 3. You will get 2 by 3, isn't it? So from here, Hc upon lambda value is equal to, so this goes 2 times, so this becomes 5 upon 4 EV0. This is another equation we have got. Okay. So now we have to crack the value of lambda 0. We can use any of the equation. We can use this equation. Look at the options. All the options are in terms of lambda. So we have to eliminate EV0. We have to eliminate EV0. Can we do one thing? We have already found out the value of Hc by, can I write Hc by EV0 from this equation? Because you see, if I divide equation 1 both sides by Hc, what will I get? I am dividing equation 1 both sides by Hc. I am going to get EV0 by Hc is equal to 1 upon lambda minus 1 upon lambda 0. This is what I got. So from this equation, I can get the value of EV0 by Hc, right? From equation 3, what is the value? EV0 by Hc is equal to, take Hc that side. So what are you getting? You are getting basically 4 upon 5 into 1 upon lambda. This is what we have got, right? Why we are doing all this? Because the options are like that. We have to work according to our options. So this is what we got. So we will put this, let us say this is 4. Okay. So we will put 4 into 5. Put 4 into 5. So EV0 by Hc is 4 by 5 lambda is equal to 1 upon lambda minus 1 upon lambda 0. Now you can see that your lambda 0 value can be obtained in terms of lambda. That is why we have done this. So take this 1 by lambda this side. So it will become 4 by 5 minus 1 divided by 1 upon lambda is equal to minus 1 divided by lambda 0. So here you are getting 4 minus 5 means 1 upon 5 into 1 upon lambda is equal to 1 upon lambda 0. Minus minus cancel. You are left with lambda 0 is equal to 5 lambda. Option B is the right answer. let us see the last question which I have given in the classwork. An electron of mass m with an initial velocity v is equal to v0 I cap is an electric field E is equal to E0 j cap. If lambda 0 is equal to h divided by mv0 is the momentum value. Its de Broglie wavelength at time t. De Broglie wavelength at time t is given by, how do you find de Broglie wavelength? Basically you have to find the lambda is equal to h divided by momentum at that point of time. So the momentum is changing with respect to time here. Okay, now why it is changing with respect to time? Look at the question. Velocity is given in I caps, means velocity, let us say it is moving in x direction. How is the electric field? Electric field is in the j cap. Electric field in the y direction. That means there is some electric field and there is a movement of charge like this. This can be some plus, we don't know. This can be minus. Will the charge go straight like this? It will take a curvature, we have discussed. So in this curvature, while doing the derivation in the class, I told that there is which type of acceleration? There is acceleration in the y direction. It's like a projectile motion. So there is acceleration in the y direction. There is no acceleration in the x direction. Okay. So can we use the concepts of kinematics? We can use the concepts of kinematics here. See, when this charge is moving in an electric field, you have to know this point that the electric field force, it will experience a force, is equal to EQ, but it can also be written as mass times acceleration. And here we are talking in y direction. So what is the charge here? The charge is the charge of the electron. We are talking about electron in the question. So EE is equal to MA. Obviously we are talking about suffix y. Okay. So from here you are getting an expression for acceleration as EE by M. So let us use that now. While doing the plane motions, 2D motions, we have discussed these kinematic equations we can apply in x and y direction. So here in x direction, what can be write? V is equal to u plus at, isn't it? V is equal to u plus at was our equation. So here we can write in the horizontal direction there is no acceleration, so v becomes equal to v0. In the y direction, what can we write? In the y direction, our velocity will be equal to v0 plus a times t. Okay, the velocity will be a times t, v0 plus a times t. Sorry, in the y, this velocity is only in the I cap, no? So here it will be, we have to write like this actually. If we have to write, it will be Vy is equal to Uy plus Ay into t, right? So Vy, let us say it is Vy, Uy there is no Uy, Ay we have just discussed, it is E by M multiplied by t. Okay, so you have a particle which has got a Vx, which has got a Vy. So what is the next speed? Next speed will be, resultant speed will be V is equal to Vx square plus Vy square. When you do this, you get the value of V, right? So that is what we have to do now. Because the particle is moving in x also, it is moving in y also, you have to find the resultant speed. Once you find the resultant speed, you multiply with the mass, you get the momentum. We are basically trying to find out the momentum, because de Broglie wavelength, if we have to find out, we have to find the momentum, right? So what will be the momentum? Multiply both sides with mass. You got the momentum. What is x0 value now? It is m into Vx square is V0 square plus Vy square is E square, capital E square. Let me just adjust the camera. Divided by m square multiplied by t square. You can see here at every point of time the resultant speed is changing, The momentum is changing. That is why he has asked in the question the de Broglie wavelength at a time t. Okay, so you have this equation now. Now de Broglie wavelength, how you will get? Lambda suffix t is equal to hc divided by the momentum at that time. So that means this mv value you have to write. No need to write all these things. Look at the options. Is the answer lambda 0? No. 2, 3, 4 makes some sense. Okay. So it is hc divided by mv. Hc value we can get it from this equation. Okay. So you can see here this term is in the numerator. Okay. Lambda d, you are writing v in the denominator, no? So this term will come in the denominator. It is here in the numerator. It is ruled out. Look at this. This and this make little sense. So which one is the correct answer means? Here there is a root over the entire thing, and here there is no root at all. Okay. Will there be root in the equation? Because you are writing mb, no? So there will be a root in the equation, under root square. So no need to calculate. You can directly use this equation. Okay. And see, basically here what he has done is he has introduced this lambda 0. Okay. Did I miss C here? Let me just check in the question. See, lambda 0 value he has given h by mv0. Okay. So we can eliminate this h from this equation. So this is our lambda d value now. So lambda d will be how much? Lambda d is in the place of h we can write lambda 0 m v0, m into v0 into lambda 0 multiplied by c divided by, okay, hc upon lambda, hc upon so you are going to get v into m v square e square capital E square by m square. This is something like this you will get. So mm cancelled, v0 you take it outside, that will be cancelled. So you are getting lambda 0 divided by, I think in the option, I think C should be there. I have just copied this question. I think here C should be there. But anyway, 4 is the closest option. 3 is the closest option, right? You take v0 common, this will go into the denominator. Option 3 is more closer, not 4. So we have to take 3 as the right answer. Okay. With this I conclude this topic. In the next class we will move on to the next and last topic, that is semiconductors.